Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has had an awesome week. Summer is quickly dwindling down. I know for me, I have next week, this upcoming week, and then the very next week, had to make sure I had my weeks right. One to 7. Yep. So I've got next week. And then the very next week, I start in service for my first year of teaching. Now, I went through in service last year as an intern, but it's going to be different this year because it will be, it's me as a teacher and not just sitting and watching somebody. So that starts on the 9th. Kids come back to school on the 12th. Super excited to kick off the year, see how it's going to go. I'm ready to have my own classroom and use everything that I learned throughout my 4 years of college and just put it to the test and figure out what works good and what doesn't, and just be around kids and get to teach them and love on them, and I'm so excited. So today's title is 2 are better. Our verses come from Ecclesiastes chapter 4, it's verses 9 through 11. It says, 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, 2 people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? So have you ever been so cold that you've snuck into your parents' room to snuggle up in their warm bed? So I am one that I am always cold. People, oh, it's so hot, and I'm like, I'm comfortable, or I may even be cold. I definitely run on the cold side of stuff. I will sit if it gets, I'm not saying I'm like, it's 99 and I'm cold. No. But if it's 70s, low 80s, and there might be a breeze, I might be cold. I might have to put on, a thin pullover just to give me some cover. But especially like air condition wise, I run cold a lot. I will be covered up with a blanket most times because I am cold. So if no one was in that bed, it wouldn't be warm, would it? So, trying to think, I don't know that I ever snuck into my parents' bed because I was cold. Not that I can remember anyway, but I would sneak in their bed if I wanted, to snuggle up with them. I'd get right there in between them. It says God thinks that people need each other. That's why he made so many of us, and that's why he gives us family and friends. When you find people that you trust, remember to be kind and helpful to them, and make sure you ask them for help when you need it. God created us to love each other. So that is something that I have learned more so in the last couple years. But even as a kid, I'm still really good friends with my childhood best friend. She helps us do next gen with stuff a lot. But I am still really close to a bunch of the friends that I grew up with, and there's some of them that I know that if I needed something, I could call them, I could text them, and I trust them enough to reach out to them if I needed help. But especially now as an adult, I see the value in those true friendships, and the ones that if I'm having a hard time, I can send a text and say, hey, I'm having a hard time, will you just pray for me? Or whatever it may be. Or if it's, hey, can I talk? I just need to, get my thoughts into words. I see the value of those friendships more now than I ever have. And so I am super thankful for the people that I have around me that I know that I can reach out to at any time. And I pray and hope that you all have people like that as well. If you don't, feel free to message the Next Gen page if you need something. Message the Next Gen page and I will answer you, and we can talk back and forth. We can be each other's sounding boards, or be each other's person to just go to and be honest and ask for prayer and that sort of thing. Like I don't care to do that for any single person that might need it. So if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to pray for you, shoot the Next Gen page a message, and I am more than happy to be that person with you. It says, Jesus, thank you for family and friends that I can be truthful with. Help me to love others by being helpful. So go out and show God's love to others today through being helpful. How can you show God's love? Think about that. We are called to show God's love, and there's so many ways that we can do that. More than just our words. Our actions to people, how we treat people, that shows people God's love. Whenever I did, back in September, October, before we started doing videos, I did a devotion at the Keys Baptist Church sheep and goat livestock show that we do. That's actually, my dad is like the ringleader of it. I'm right there helping him with it. But we do a devotion, and that devotion is actually, the video is actually on the Next Gen page. But one thing that I hit on throughout that whole devotion was we are either going to lead people to Christ, or we're going to deter them from Him completely. There is no in between. So be mindful of your actions and how that is pointing to Christ. Is it pointing people to Christ, or is it deterring them from Him? Be mindful of that today and every day. Everyone go have a great weekend. Maybe it'll cool down a little bit. Maybe we'll get out and do something fun, because it's been kind of hot to really get out and do anything. But maybe it'll cool down a little bit. But regardless, have a great weekend. Find a way to show others God's love and be the example.